Thugs who stormed rival gangs' house will be looking over their shoulders forever. Criminals who robbed £1 million worth of cocaine from an organized crime group in Liverpool are now facing years behind bars, but will also have to look over their shoulder for the rest of their life. A group of criminals are facing 15 years behind bars after storming a stash house run by the biggest firm in Liverpool. But now, after plotting and carrying out a major £1 million heist on the Liverpool organized crime group, it is more than just time behind bars they will face. According to Jason Cox's lawyer, he will now have to look over his shoulder for most of the rest of his life. The stash house was situated on a residential street in Liverpool and housed kilos upon kilos of cocaine worth millions. Cox, leader of a Salford crime family, and Richard Caswell teamed up for the major robbery. Another robber pretended to be a delivery driver and knocked on the door before the team burst in. It was a successful heist. The robbers fled not long afterwards with 30 kilos of cocaine worth up to £1 million. It was a violent attack, and the dad and son inside the house were attacked with an axe and machete during the raid. The court heard that the robbery team left a trail of blood in their wake. Caswell's lawyer said he is under threat in prison and has become a target. He was slashed in prison previously, the Manchester Evening News reports. On Friday, Jason Cox was sentenced to 14 years and 8 months in prison. His brother was sentenced to 13.5 years, and Caswell, nicknamed Will because of an apparent resemblance to pop star Will Young, received 7 years. Another Cox brother, Lee Cox, was jailed for 8 years for his involvement in the family's drugs business. Prosecutors told how the tight-knit Cox crime gang were involved in large-scale drug dealing, being linked to more than 20 kilos of cocaine and 50 kilos of cannabis. Jason Cox decided to join forces with Caswell, a well-known Liverpool criminal previously linked to a spate of car bombs across the city in 2003 and 2004, to target another drug-dealing gang. The identity of the gang can't be revealed for legal reasons. Jason Cox and Caswell made at least 5 surveillance trips to scope out the stash house prior to the robbery, which took place on Saturday, May 23, 2020. Craig Cox was recruited alongside foot soldier Ben Monks Gordon, who was tasked with posing as a delivery driver.
Later, Jason Cox and Lee Cox fled to Spain and had to be dragged back to the UK to face justice. All 3 brothers and Caswell were sentenced on Friday by Judge Patrick Field KC. He said of the raid, it was a meticulously executed crime committed by greedy and desperate criminals, and demonstrated, I suppose, that there is no honor among drug traffickers. Jason Cox, 37, of Warrington. Craig Cox, 34, of no fixed address. Caswell, 41, of no fixed address. And Monks Gordon, of no fixed address, all pleaded guilty to conspiracy to rob. Jason Cox, Craig Cox, Lee Cox, 39, of Oaklands Road, Salford, all pleaded guilty to conspiracy to supply cocaine and cannabis and conspiracy to possess criminal property. Caswell also admitted conspiracy to supply cocaine and heroin and possessing criminal property. Monks Gordon was jailed for 6 years and 9 months at a previous hearing.